Hey guys, how's it going? So in this video, I want to share with you why when we increase our budget in Facebook ads, our ROAS starts to go down. Okay, so if you're that someone who is running Facebook ads for yourself, for your clients, and you have experienced what I'm talking about, which means you try to increase your budget, but suddenly as you increase your budget, the ROAS started to go down. This video is going to help you understand what are those few reasons that it happens and how can you prepare yourself for that, something like that, so that you don't experience sudden decrease in your performance or maybe in your overall business performance. Okay, so let's talk about it. Now, just to give you a little background, if you're here for the first time and you're listening to me for the first time, then I want to tell you that whatever I share here is from my hands-on experience. Okay, so I currently run an advertising agency and we handle 6 ad accounts actively at present, the day I'm recording this video. We have spent more than 1 CR on Facebook ads in total, and we have done 5 CR combined across the portfolio of clients we have. So whatever I'm sharing with you is coming from my hands-on experience. Okay, now long story short, why does this happen? Okay, so the first thing I want you to please understand here is, okay, I don't want to sell you a shortcut, okay, because I have nothing to gain from this video. Yeah, I mean, probably some of you will choose to subscribe, but then that's about it maybe. And what I want to tell you here is that as soon as you increase your budget, the reason why your cost is going to go high, one of the unspoken reasons, like things that people don't realize, things that people don't tell you because probably they don't know, or probably they don't want you to know, that as soon as you increase your budget, you must realize that Facebook as a platform bills us on impressions. Okay, if you go to your ads manager, to your billing section, and you check out your invoice, you will see that it bills you on impressions. Okay, so when we are getting billed on impressions, it simply means that as soon as we increase the budget, Facebook gets a signal that it wants we want it to deliver more impressions to us. Okay, now what is the difference between impressions and reach? Reach is a metric which means that you are reaching unique accounts, unique Facebook accounts, unique Facebook or Instagram users, right? Meta users, unique users. That's what reach means. But we are not getting billed on reach. We are getting billed on impressions. Okay, impressions means if I see your ad 5 times, you will be billed 5 times to show me your ad 5 times. So even though you only got one unique person to see your ad, but because your ads were served 5 times to the same person, you will be billed 5 times. Simple? Great. Now this is how we get billed. Okay, impressions. Now as soon as we increase the budget, what happens is that we send a signal, we send a sign that, hey, I want you to spend more of my money and give me more impressions in return, Facebook. That's the message we are sending. Of course, if we are optimizing it for conversions, say for instance conversions, leads, whatever we are optimizing it for, then of course it is going to help you optimize that, because ultimately Facebook also realizes that only if a business is going to make some money and grow through advertising is only when the business will continue to advertise on Meta, which is of course in their benefit, right? That's what they want ultimately. So that's true, but at the same time, we have to keep in mind the other truth as well, which is that we are getting billed on impressions. So as soon as we increase the budget, what happens now is understand that supply is limited. Okay, supply is not infinite. Supply is finite. If there are X number of people on Facebook at a given point in time and you increase your budget, there is no way that Facebook can show your ads to more than the people who are present online at that point. Let's say that day, right? Because those are the number of people there are. That's it. So when we increase the budget, what happens is if the number of people are not increasing on social media or online, because it's finite, it's not infinite, what suddenly starts to happen is that your frequency starts to rise. Now, what is frequency? Frequency is basically how many times on an average one person is seeing your ads when it comes to basically when you run Facebook ads, right? So how many times a person is seeing your ads. So as soon as we increase the budget, you will always see that there will be a little bit of spike in the frequency. I'm not saying that you need to hit the panic button. Don't hit the panic button. Take a chill pill, relax. It's normal. It is bound to happen because it's common sense. It's logical, right? But what I'm saying is that you must realize that as soon as frequency starts to rise, which means the same person start to see your ad a few times more now, or maybe just, a little bit more, you start to, and because you're getting billed for impressions, you start to experience a decrease in your overall ROAS. Why? Because here's what's happening. Your ads are being shown now to a little more to the same people, and because of that, your CTR, which means your click-through rate, starts to go down now because your ads are being shown to the same people. Because of that, your cost per click starts to rise a little bit. Why? Because your ads are being shown to the same people, right? Now, I want you to understand what I just shared with you today and look at it from a perspective of advertising as a whole, okay? And understand this, please, that ROAS is not a metric for you to build your business on. You cannot build your business on ROAS. If you want to track ROAS, all that you should be tracking for, if you want to track ROAS, is NC ROAS, right? Which is new customer ROAS. Okay, they also call it as NC ROAS. ROAS is not the best metric to look at, and it just messes up with your calculation and overall understanding of your business numbers. So it's better that you look at NC ROAS, which is new customer ROAS, so that you now can realize that how much one new customer how much are you spending per customer to acquire one new customer from your advertising, so you can then analyze your advertising efforts better like that. And the other metric you should look at is like your net profit margin. Like at the end of the day, how much money are you taking home? Which means that, and net profit margin means that you are removing all your expenses and your overheads and your taxes and your advertising costs, basically everything. You remove everything, your COGS, which means cost of goods sold, right? Everything, you remove everything, and that's what gives you your profit, right? Net profit. So you want to understand what is your profit margins per order, okay? So per sale. Now, if you're doing a digital product, then you want to understand what's your net profit per user who is buying your workshop ticket, your upsells, your course, your coaching programs, your mentorships, your masterminds. If you're doing e-commerce, then you want to understand what's your net profit per order, which means per sale, roughly on an average across, say over a period of 1 month or over a period of 3 months. Usually it's better if you look at it from a long-term perspective. So 3 months, over a period of 3 months will give you a better idea. And this is how you can maintain a peace of mind and understand this fact that no matter how much you scale your ad account and no matter how much you try to maintain it, of course, with great ads and with a minimalistic campaign structure, you can manage it better than anybody else or any average person. Definitely you can do that. But ultimately you can experience, and you should experience and keep in mind, have this expectation that the ROAS will go a little down, which means that you will experience some decrease in your performance because of the reason that I told you. And the only permanent way for you to battle this is to start working on LTV, which means start increasing your repeat buyers. Start deploying email marketing in your business if you don't have that yet. This is 2024 and you should know that. And these days now, there is so many different courses available online. You can understand different things, but you can definitely learn a lot and start to implement these kind of practices so that you can sustain the performance at scale. Another way to do this is a lot of people you'll see a lot of brands do it, is that they deploy, especially let's say if you're doing e-commerce, then they deploy a lot of products, like multiple products in multiple categories, because when they increase the budget, the ROAS goes down. Because let's say you are probably, let's say for example, you are promoting a hair fall product. Now if you're promoting a hair fall product and you get success initially, but once you start to increase the budget, your ROAS starts to go down because of one reason, as I already explained you, and another reason that if there is only out of the X number of people, if there are only Y number of people who require the product you're selling, then again there is a demand. Like there's a demand is also like finite. It's technically not infinite, right? So you want to understand that also, that also will limit you in regards to how much can you grow. So what happens is that when you rely only on one product, especially when you're doing e-commerce, then you only cater to one segment of your market. And of course you can keep growing it till a certain point, but then you can expect the ROAS to go down because of the reasons that I told you. So how can you battle this? And you will see a lot of e-commerce brands utilize this principle that I'm sharing with you, that you can deploy other products that can get you, which are probably in the same market, which means selling more things to the same people who are buying your first thing. Or you can start selling in adjacent markets, right? So for example, if you're selling somebody a product, a supplement for hair fall, then you can start selling them a supplement for skincare, right? Because that's an adjacent market. So that's how you can have, then what happens is you open the door gates for other customers who are interested in other products. And now you have your, new customers coming in your business. So NC ROAS, new customer ROAS can stay, like you can maintain it overall from business's perspective, not from one campaign or not from one product, but overall business perspective. And that's how business is built, right? It's not your product, but your overall business. And some products will not be winners. Some products will become winners, and that's completely okay. So you just take those shots. If it doesn't give you the results you want, move on, find another product and start working on it. So and if you're doing a digital business, you will realize that digital businesses would require upsells at the end of the day. You need to have some sort of ascension plan, which means that if somebody comes to you and buys something from you, say at 10,000 rupees, your coaching program or your course, if you're selling that, then you need to have some sort of ascension plan, which means you can sell them, one-on-one mentorship or cohort-based programs as your upsells, or you can even have high-ticket masterminds and maybe a done with you kind of a plan where you work together with them, something that basically becomes a win-win situation for yourself as well as your prospect, as well as your student or your member, so that everybody benefits out of it. And as a result, you increase value per customer. Every per customer is worth more to you this way, right? Now, these are the reasons why people struggle, that when they experience a depreciation in their ROAS, they think that I just need to now find a new campaign strategy. They think that I now need to just maybe try manual bidding, maybe just, keep deploying new ad creatives. The truth is that when we work with clients, 8 out of 10 times the problem is solved with just new ads, okay? Because people just don't give importance to ads. So we deploy new ad angles with the market research we do, and we are very comprehensive in the research that we perform, and as a result we are able to get some really cool ideas for our clients, and as a result it just gives the clients' products, gives back the selling power to their products, because now we are hitting the market from different angles that they were missing out on. So of course it helps, but I'm saying that ultimately it will boil down to this. It is only going to be, anything you do is always going to be some, you can say, for the lack of better way of saying it, will probably be a temporary fix. It's not a permanent fix. And in business, nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary, because it's more about fighting the fight, and the fight never ends. And it's more about accepting this and enjoying the fight, right? It's because As entrepreneurs, we are warriors, right? We want to fight and we want to win the battle, and we want to keep fighting, because if we don't fight, then what are we going to do? Because this is what we're good at and this is what we enjoy. So we might as well come at peace with this fact and then start building businesses that we are proud of. Start doing things that overall can help us make the amount of money that we desire, and keep making that money at scale, and then make our family proud and buy things for ourselves or buy things for our family, and maybe reinvest in the business, build teams, right? So that our we enjoy what we do. Because if we don't build teams, then we are a lone wolf, and then suddenly you will now start to feel lonely because you have nobody to speak with or talk to, because you're just too lonely. So yeah, at the end of the day, this is what matters, right? So this is a very different video, which is going to require a little different level of intellect to understand the deep psychology behind why I shared what I shared. And but I'm telling you, if not today, one day you are going to come back to this video, because what I shared with you is God's honest truth. That's my promise to you. Okay, so let me know what you think about it, and I'm going to see you in the next video. And always remember, it's not about what we achieve, it's about who we become while we are achieving it. Bye.